Hi everyone, Selena here. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new, and thanks for tuning in. Today I am going to do a set with these half matte coffin full nail tips. These are acrylic and they are medium size by Beetles. Everything I'm using today, about 95% of it, is from my last video haul. And I'm starting off by picking up my sizes. You want to make sure that the tip goes from one side of your nail to the other, so sidewall to sidewall. And depending on how you're putting it on, I'm using tabs, so I'm sizing up by about one size to allow for that extra space. So I'm just picking out all my sizes here. Then I'm moving on to removing the shine on the surface. I'm going to show you 3 different ways. Here I'm using a nail buffer, the rougher side, 100 grit on the buffer. And I'm just taking the shine off the whole surface of it. Once I'm done that, I move on to the next one. This one I'm going to show you. I'm using a file to take the shine off the surface. I'm using again the 100 grit on my 180 grit file. And then I get my e-file out. So if you have an electric nail file, you can also do it this way. I had my e-file at about approximately 12 RPMs, rotations per minute. And I used that and took all the shine off the top of the nail. And here I'm just going to show you the 3 different ones compared to a nail that had nothing done. So they all pretty much look the same except for the one with nothing done to it. Because I know a lot of people say they like to do one more than the other. So some people prefer the file, some people prefer the e-file. It doesn't really matter as far as I'm concerned. It all comes out the same. So here I'm showing you I'm using the base coat on the prepped nails. The nails have already been dusted off and I use some isopropyl alcohol on them. And I'm going to go ahead and use a base coat. I just like how the gel polish applies with a base coat on it. I find it applies much easier. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. And I kept finding, I don't know if it was lint or hair. It was driving me nuts. I don't know. It was something. And that's all done. So moving on to the first nail, I'm going to start off with number 467 from the Beatles collection, 12 color collection in this set. These are 9 mils, and this is just a white. Also, these tips are acrylic tips, not gel. These are acrylic, not gel. Just so you're aware. For any of you who are allergic to gel, you would be able to wear these. You could use these with the tabs or the glue if you're okay with the glue. You could use these because you can get acrylic tips for press-ons out there. And when I did this coat with this color, I only did 1 coat. And really that's all it needed. It was so pigmented. And I didn't even do it very thick, to be quite honest. I really like this polish. It came out really nice. Other hair. I don't know where they were coming from. They were coming from somewhere. Here we go. They're all done, all prepped for the next color. So for your glass nails, you want to use a cat eye polish of your choice. I have G384. I do one coat on camera on one of the nails, and then I do second coat off camera on all of them. So this is a nice, beautiful blue that I'm using. And I just chose to use the white underneath to bring the blue out more so. Another hair. My puppy's only been in the room twice and I'm already finding hair everywhere. And if your first coat seems kind of streaky, that's okay. Second coat won't be as bad. It probably won't be streaky at all on the second coat. So when you have your magnet out, you want to bring those colored magnetic pieces to the middle of the nail for your glass nail look. So you just want to make sure that all that color is brought to the middle of the nail. Kind of like that. And then depending on how far up from the sides you want it, some people like to bring it in right in the very middle and have quite a bit of the sides left empty. I prefer not to. So these are all done, and I'm going to use the Beetles matte top coat. So last time I tried using this, it didn't work out too well. So we'll give it a try. I figured maybe using their products, it'll work out much better. So I thought I'll give this a go and see how it does. I have my fingers crossed. So here I use the matte top coat from Beetles, and they're still shiny. I was not impressed. I don't understand what's going on. So I'm going in with the MAC Art matte top coat. Once this is done, I'm going to show you a picture of the Beetles matte top coat with the MAC Art one, with the nails with the MAC Art done with it. You'll see a big difference. Such a beautiful blue. I love that. So here we go. Nice and matte, and the Beetles matte top coat was not. Look at that. So much better. So I'm going to start on the thumb. I have an ultrafine liner in 20 millimeters. I'm going to use hard gel. And that is what I'm going to put the lines on with. So I just dip my liner brush in, get as much as I need to start putting my lines on. I start at the side. And if you have to, you can go over it a second time as well. I know there's some of them I had to go over a second time, some a third. I think the thumb was my favorite. That turned out the best out of all of them. Well, guys, it's Thursday. You've made it to the end of the week. Anybody have any plans for the weekend? I've been trying to get to the city all week, all last week, all the week before. Weather just has been so up and down here. I don't know about you guys, but hopefully someday soon I'll make it. But let me know if you guys have any plans for the weekend. Anything special? So I'm trying to do these lines as straight as possible. I am pretty shaky, so some of them aren't as straight as I would like them to be, or as thin I would like them to be. You'll notice at the end. But it's not too bad. I did at one point add extra lines to one of them, and I thought, I don't like this, so then I took it off and I just redid it. I did take that out of the video though, just so you're aware. I didn't want the video to be super long. There we go. Now I'm going to flash cure this before moving on to the next one. There we go. That one's all done for now. I'll move on to this one. This one I'm going to start in the middle to see if it helps me balance out how many lines I need on each side. However, it did not help me. I tried. I do like those liner brushes though. These are a little thinner than my other set that I have. So I've seen these nails going around for a little bit and I thought I'd give them a try. Now, once I get them all done, I found they looked a little dull, a little bland. So I do add some stickers to them. Kind of spruce them up a little bit. Didn't want to leave them I didn't want to leave them too dull. So here they're all done, and I am taking the Beatles top coat that came in that kit, and I'm going to put some on my palette. And then I'm going to use my liner brush, and I'm going to go over those lines with it. So when I do this, I do a couple of lines and I flash cure. Then I do a couple more and flash cure again, just because the top coat is not that thick. So I didn't want it to start running over everything else. There we go. Then a quick flash. And this is the thumb I'm working on. Another flash cure. You can really see that color in the middle of the nail. I really like that. Okay, so we have the top coat on all of the lines, and we are now going to move on to the stickers. Make them look a little more pretty. Not so bland or dull. I forgot I had these stickers actually, and I thought this would be the perfect time to use them. They're small and they wouldn't take up the whole nail. They're perfect for going in between the lines, or even on the lines for that matter. And they kind of match the color. So I've decided not to do pictures at the end of the video. Instead, I did a live video of me wearing the nails. and just posing with them on. Let me know what you guys think. Do you prefer the pictures or do you prefer the video? Let me know after you see it in the end. Here we're moving on to the index finger. And let me know, do you guys prefer to hear music on the videos? I know I had one person comment they don't like to hear the music because during talking it's hard to hear me. Let me know, do you want music? Do you not want music? Because I've done both in the past. So let me know what your thoughts are on that. Because I know there are some quiet moments. So I never know if I should put music on it or not. And it's not always possible to really get music just where there's no talking, depending on how much or how little talking there is. Because sometimes there's a lot of talking, sometimes there's not much talking. Sometimes I'll have no talking, and then all of a sudden there's talking, and I'll have very little space in between. So it's kind of hard. So let me know in the comments below, would you prefer music or no music if you had a choice? So my dog Prince wanted his own debut. He was getting up on the desk. Decided to speed this one up for you because it took a little while. That one I would have to say is my second favorite. This nail here, for sure. And I say it's because of the stickers. It's like pebbles on the side. And last but not least, we have the pinky nail. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that like button, that notification bell, so you're notified each time I upload a video. Don't forget to check out my other videos. And let me know what you think of the set. And if you prefer music or no music. So I hope you enjoyed the video and have a good weekend, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.